If you're thinking about buying a Tesla tiny house for your retirement, here's the question nobody's asking. What happens in year 5, year 10? Everyone talks about the upfront price, maybe $5,983, maybe $25,000, depending on what you read. But here's what I've learned after analyzing hundreds of comments from retirees just like you. The real cost isn't what you pay today. It's what you'll keep paying, month after month, year after year, and whether you'll truly own anything at all. See, you can buy the house, but if you don't own the land underneath it, you're not buying freedom. You're buying a lease agreement that someone else controls. Today, we're showing you the complete financial picture over 10 years, the costs they don't mention, the hidden fees that show up later, and the one question that determines whether this is your retirement solution or your biggest financial mistake. This isn't clickbait. This is the honest breakdown you deserve. Let's start with what you're actually buying. Part 1. The 3 layers you're actually paying for. When you see those beautiful renders of Tesla tiny houses, understand this: you're not buying one thing. You're buying into a 3-layer system, and each layer has its own cost structure and risks. Layer 1 is the physical house, 250 square feet of steel frame, composite walls, solar panels, and battery. Estimated cost based on similar prefab systems and leaked documents, $5,983 for the basic shell to $22,900 for the full off-grid package with Powerwall 3. Important disclaimer: Tesla hasn't released official pricing yet, so treat these as educated projections based on comparable systems currently on the market, not guarantees. Layer 2 is the land. The house sits on land you either own or lease. According to leaked information, Tesla may offer a land lease program, possibly 24 months free, then estimated $299 to $499 monthly, depending on location. Do the math. $400 per month over 10 years equals $48,000. That's double the house cost, and lease agreements can change over time. Layer 3 is the life support system. Energy, water, internet, insurance, maintenance, permits, zoning. Unlike the house purchase, these costs never stop. For retirees on fixed incomes, this is where the financial picture either makes sense or falls apart. Remember, house cost isn't the killer, land control is.
Part 2. Your real 10-year cost in 3 different scenarios. Let's look at exactly what you'll pay over 10 years in 3 different situations. Scenario A. You own your land. You already own land in Texas, Florida, or Arizona with favorable zoning. Year 1 costs: Tesla tiny house full package, approximately $22,900. Site preparation, $2,000 to $5,000. Permits, $500 to $2,000. Initial hookups, $1,000 to $3,000. Total upfront, $26,400 to $32,900. Ongoing annual costs: property tax, $800 to $2,500, insurance, $600 to $1,200, maintenance, $500 to $1,000, internet, $1,200. Annual total, $3,100 to $5,900. Over 10 years, total cost, $57,400 to $91,900. This is the best-case scenario. You have control. No landlord, no lease increases, but you need land first, and even rural land costs $20,000 to $100,000 if you're buying specifically for this project. Scenario B. You lease Tesla's land. Most retirees will do this because they don't own land. Year 1, Tesla tiny house, $22,900, land lease potentially $0 for 24 months, insurance $800, internet $1,200, total year 1, $24,900. Years 3 through 10 annual costs. Land lease estimated $4,800, insurance $800, maintenance $1,000, internet $1,200, miscellaneous repairs $500. Annual total $8,300. Over 10 years total $91,300. But here's the hidden danger that nobody talks about in the promotional videos. Lease agreements can change. After your initial lease term expires, Tesla or whoever owns that land can raise the rates. They can change the terms and conditions. In some cases, they can even ask you to leave if local zoning laws shift or if they decide to use the land for something else. You paid $22,900 for the house, but someone else controls where you live and how much you pay to stay there. This is not home ownership. This is long-term renting with a large upfront payment. Let me read a real comment from Robert. Need one bad. Retired and only drawing $1,095 a month. Robert, if you're watching, this lease scenario means potentially $700 to $900 monthly after year 2. That's almost your entire Social Security check before you even buy groceries or pay for medication. Another viewer asked, is there a wheelchair-accessible one? The standard 250 square foot model is not designed for wheelchairs. Narrow doorways, tight corners, a bathroom that barely fits one person standing. These are real concerns from real retirees that deserve real answers, not marketing promises.
Scenario C. Traditional housing comparison. Let's be completely fair and compare this to your other realistic options as a retiree in America today. If you're renting a one-bedroom apartment in a mid-tier area, not expensive cities like San Francisco or New York, but not rural areas either, you're paying $1,200 to $1,800 monthly. That's $14,400 to $21,600 every single year just for rent. Over 10 years, that's $144,000 to $216,000 with absolutely no equity, no ownership, nothing to show for it at the end except a stack of rent receipts. And your landlord can raise rent every year. RV park living, which many retirees choose for affordability and flexibility, requires buying a decent RV first. A livable RV that's not falling apart costs $40,000 to $80,000. Then you pay monthly lot fees of $400 to $800 depending on location and amenities like water, electric hookups, and waste disposal. Over 10 years, including the RV purchase, lot fees, fuel costs, and ongoing maintenance on a vehicle that's constantly depreciating, you're looking at $120,000 to $180,000. And after 10 years, that RV is worth maybe 30 to 40% of what you paid. Now compare that to the Tesla tiny house scenarios. If you own land, $57,400 to $91,900 over 10 years. If you're leasing land through Tesla's program, $91,300 over 10 years. So yes, if you own land, the Tesla tiny house wins financially by a significant margin. You're saving potentially $50,000 to $120,000 compared to renting or RV living. But if you're leasing the land, you're in the same basic financial ballpark as RV park living, except with less flexibility, because an RV can move to any park in any state and a tiny house on a leased lot cannot. Plus, you face more regulatory risk from changing zoning laws that could force you out. Quick recap, the real cost is what happens after you move in. Would you rather own land in rural Arizona or lease in Florida? Drop your thoughts in comments. Part 3. Why free solar energy isn't really free. One of the biggest selling points you'll hear is this: off-grid with solar and Powerwall, no more electric bills forever. Technically true, but here's what they don't tell you about living off-grid for 10 to 20 years. Solar efficiency varies wildly depending on where you actually live, not where the marketing materials say it works. If you're in Arizona, Nevada, or Southern California, you're looking at excellent conditions with over 300 sunny days yearly. Your 6-kilowatt system will perform close to its rated capacity. You'll generate surplus power most days.
But if you're in the Pacific Northwest or New England, you're facing challenging conditions with only 140 to 180 sunny days annually. Your solar system produces significantly less power, meaning you'll need more battery storage or grid backup to make it through winter months. Florida has good sunshine, which sounds perfect on paper, but it also has hurricane season from June through November, which can damage solar panels, knock them offline for weeks during repairs, and create extended periods without sun while storms pass through the region. Battery degradation is real, unavoidable, and expensive. Industry data on lithium batteries shows that capacity naturally degrades over time, regardless of how well you maintain the system. After 10 years of regular charge-discharge cycles, you might retain 70 to 80% of your original storage capacity based on typical degradation patterns seen in current Powerwall installations. That means in year 11, you face a critical decision. Do you replace the battery pack at a cost that could run several $1,000s based on current Powerwall pricing trends, or do you start relying more heavily on backup power sources that add ongoing monthly costs? Here's the myth versus truth moment that changes everything. Myth says free energy forever with no electric bills. Truth says very low energy costs most of the time, with occasional major expenses you need to plan for. Extended bad weather becomes your enemy. 3 straight days of heavy rain or snow, which happens regularly in many parts of America every winter, will drain your battery reserves down to minimum levels. You'll need either a grid tie-in, which requires infrastructure installation costing $3,000 to $8,000 upfront, plus ongoing connection fees to the utility company of $20 to $50 monthly, or a generator backup system, which means buying the generator for $800 to $2,000, storing fuel safely, maintaining another mechanical system, and paying for gasoline or propane regularly. Real-world energy costs over 10 years, best case in sunny states, $500 to $2,000 total. Worst case with battery replacement and backup systems, $10,000 to $15,000. Still cheaper than 10 years of electric bills, but not free forever.
Part 4. The hidden costs nobody talks about. Beyond the house and the land, there are ongoing expenses that never stop and can catch you off guard if you're not prepared. Steel frames don't rot, but maintenance continues. Window seals wear out every 5 to 7 years. Roof membranes need inspection every 3 to 5 years. Solar panels need cleaning. Dust and bird droppings reduce efficiency 20 to 30%. Hydraulic Murphy beds need periodic service. Estimated 10-year maintenance, $5,000 to $10,000, or $500 to $1,000 annually on fixed retirement income. Insurance complexity. Standard homeowners insurance typically doesn't cover movable tiny homes on leased land the same way. You generally need specialized coverage costing 30 to 50% more. Why? Insurers cite higher theft risk because it's movable, weather vulnerability without permanent foundation, and expensive tech components. Annual cost, $800 to $1,500 versus $400 to $800 for traditional homes. Internet is your lifeline. For retirees, internet is essential infrastructure. Telehealth appointments, video calls with grandchildren, emergency contact, financial management. Starlink is the most realistic off-grid solution, $100 to $120 monthly, or $1,200 to $1,440 annually. Over 10 years, $12,000 to $14,400. When Starlink goes down during storms, you need backup like mobile hotspot, adding more monthly cost. The zoning challenge. Now this is complicated. Zoning laws are not simple state-level yes or no situations. They vary dramatically by county, by city, sometimes even by specific neighborhoods. What works in one part of Texas might be completely illegal 50 miles away.
Many Northeast and West Coast areas have historically stricter policies around tiny homes on leased land. States like New York, Massachusetts, parts of Illinois, and some Washington counties have reputations for stricter regulations regarding minimum dwelling sizes and what they classify as permanent residences versus temporary structures. But even in friendly states like Texas and Florida, individual counties and homeowners associations can ban tiny homes through local ordinances. A county might allow them in unincorporated areas, but ban them within city limits. An HOA might have covenants specifying minimum square footage of 1,200 feet, making your 250 square foot tiny house automatically prohibited, even if the county allows it. The critical point: you absolutely must check your specific county's zoning regulations, building codes, and homeowners association covenants before making any purchase or signing any lease. Don't assume anything based on state. Don't trust what a salesperson tells you. Go to your county planning office, talk to the zoning administrator, and get written confirmation that what you're planning is legal. You could spend $22,900, sign a lease, then discover your county won't issue occupancy permits. You'd be stuck with a house you can't use and a lease you're paying monthly with no way out.
Part 5. Real Viewer Questions Answered. Let me address the most common questions I'm seeing in comments because these represent your real concerns. Someone asked, how do you buy one and where do you place it? As of right now, Tesla hasn't opened official orders yet. No buy button, no dealer network. When they do open orders, placement depends on your county's zoning laws and whether you own land or use Tesla's lease program. You can't just drop it anywhere. Another person asked, will it stand a tornado? Excellent safety question. Similar modular construction with steel frames is typically rated for high winds, often 110 to 140 miles per hour for quality builds. But you need Tesla's specific engineering certifications when released. Know the exact wind rating. Verify it meets FEMA standards for your flood zone if applicable. Don't accept general assurances. Demand documentation. One viewer asked, can this be elevated for flood zones and can it be built in North Carolina? Elevation requires custom foundation work, concrete piers, elevated platforms, engineered support systems. This adds $5,000 to $15,000 depending on elevation height and soil conditions. The complication: this may not be possible in lease situations because you don't own the land and can't make permanent structural changes without landlord approval. As for North Carolina, it depends entirely on which county you're in. Some welcome tiny homes, others have minimum square footage requirements that would prohibit 250 square feet. And here's one that really hit me. I'm 65 and would love to feel home ownership, not always feeling safe renting. I understand that feeling completely. You've worked your whole life, paid into Social Security, done everything right. Now you're facing housing costs eating up half your income, with landlords who can raise rent whenever they want. That feeling of instability, of never truly having a place that's yours, that's exactly why this video exists, to help you evaluate whether this option gives you that security, or whether it's just another form of renting with a different name. Is this real or AI? Let me be direct. Tesla has not officially announced this product with full specifications, confirmed pricing, or availability dates. We're analyzing leaked internal documents, patent filings Tesla has submitted, industry analysis, and comparable products currently on market. That's why every number is presented as an estimate with ranges, not confirmed facts. I'm giving you the framework to evaluate this intelligently when official information comes out, so you're not making emotional decisions based on hype. Part 6. The Decision Checklist. Question 1. Do I own land? If yes, Tesla Tiny House makes strong financial sense. If no, you're betting on lease stability and unchanging zoning laws for 10 to 20 years. Question 2. What's the real monthly cost after year 2? Calculate true monthly cost, land lease if applicable, insurance, internet, maintenance reserve. Realistic monthly with leased land, $600 to $900. Can you afford that on Social Security for 10 to 20 years? What about when you're 80? Question 3. What if I get sick or disabled? Standard 250 square foot models generally aren't wheelchair accessible. Narrow doorways, lofted storage, tight bathrooms. If you develop mobility issues in your 70s or 80s, can you modify the home? Afford to move? Get family help? Question 4. Who maintains this when I'm 75 or 80? At 65, you might feel capable. At 75, will you climb ladders to clean solar panels, replace filters, winterize pipes? If not, you'll pay someone. In remote areas, service calls are expensive and providers scarce. Question 5. Can I sell this? Unlike traditional homes on Zillow with established comparable sales, Tesla tiny house resale is uncertain. New technology, location dependent, lease complicated. You might recover 50 to 70% of investment, maybe less. No established market yet.
Part 7. When this works and when it doesn't. Let me give you the straight answer on who this is actually for. When Tesla Tiny House makes sense, you own land in a county allowing tiny homes with clear zoning. You're comfortable with 250 to 500 square feet for 20 years. You have $25,000 to $35,000 liquid without jeopardizing emergency funds. You're handy or can afford service calls. You want energy independence and lower bills. Best for healthy retirees in sunny states who own land. When it carries higher risk, you're leasing land long-term. You live where county zoning is strict or uncertain. You're on very tight fixed income of $1,200 monthly or less. You have mobility issues or health problems. You need proximity to family or medical care in urban areas. Risk level higher without substantial backup plans and savings.
Here's the bottom line. Tesla Tiny House is not a scam, but it's not the miracle some channels claim. It's a tool that works brilliantly for the right person in the right situation and carries risks for everyone else. If you own land, have mechanical aptitude, and want simple living, this could save tens of thousands. But if you're on $1,100 monthly Social Security, leasing land with uncertain zoning, this has significant risks. Drop a comment with Tesla House plus your state, like Tesla House, Texas or Tesla House, Florida, and I'll compile the most requested states and create a follow-up video breaking down county-level zoning, land costs, and solar efficiency for each region. I'll pin a comment with resources to check your county's tiny home regulations. Hit subscribe to stay updated as Tesla releases official information. Next video analyzes which specific states and counties offer the best combination for Tesla tiny house placement. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to give you the truth so you can build the retirement you deserve. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.